her story. She was butt poor, absolutely poor. She started in real estate in 2011, barely spoke any English, had $6 to her name, had no sphere of influence. And she just knew that she wanted to start her business. And she started her business and grew it through the power of social media. She is definitely a social media queen. She's had more than $75 million in personal production. She has, I don't know, a few followers on Instagram, not as much as Doc's over there, but 55,000 plus followers on Instagram. She's a coach, she's a mentor, she is a trainer. She has several boot camps available online to teach you how to be good at social media and to Agent Attract with social media. She's attracted 100 in her front line and over 500 in her organization, which is incredible. And today she is definitely part of the small sliver at the top of EXP Realty and Agent Attraction. So please give a warm welcome to Gogo Bethke.
For having me today. Let's see how this works. Okay, I wanted to let you really hear the song because you're going to talk about today that you are the best. Especially when you're selling real estate on social media, you have to believe that you are the beep in town, okay? And we are going to talk about that today, but I'm going to let you know a little bit about me. So I'm originally from Romania, but I am Hungarian by nationality. My real name is Gyöngyvér. I should put that in my presentation just so that you guys can see my real name. So clearly that doesn't work when you're selling in the US. I came to United States, you'll never believe it, because I saw an Eddie Murphy movie. So I grew up in communism. There's actually somebody else here from Romania, Diana?
Right here.
Right there, yep. And I think there's Carmen. Is Carmen here? Outside. So I grew up in Transylvania, which is a small part of Romania. We were in communism until 1989. And when they shot Ceausescu, my parents thought it was a great idea to put a 7-year-old in front of the TV and watch while I don't know who he wasn't the president, he was the leader, I guess, of the country, being shot in the head. And right after that, my dad went and bought a color TV and a DVD, well, what am I kidding? A VCR player, and came home with 48 Hours by Eddie Murphy. Now, when you live in communism, there is no access to the Western world. So I did not know anything. It's like living in a shoebox with the lid on. Like literally when Ceausescu came to town, my parents had to tie apples to the trees. So it looked like it was a flourishing country. Like it's communism. So my dad goes, gets the color TV, gets the VCR player, and I plays this movie, 48 Hours by Eddie Murphy, and I never seen a black person before. I never knew they existed. And I watched him, and to me, he was so happy. He was like the happiest person I've ever seen in my entire life. And that is my recollection now, going back as almost 40 years old, that I wanted to go where he was at. Because to me, I thought, he's happy because of where he's at. So, because I wasn't happy where I was at. So, that's my first recollection of coming to America. So, I live the American dream. That is my goal. One time when I look back, I'm like, why am I doing this? Why am I constantly hustling? I'm hustling because I want to prove it to my parents, and if I left them all behind, my sister, my family, my grandparents, my cousins, everybody, then it was worth it. So I am here for the American dream, and I think I do a pretty good job at it. Thank you. Thank you. How I became a realtor. So I came in 2003 as an au pair, a live-in nanny. And in 2011, my neighbor, she's the marketing director of Capital Title, local title company in Michigan, she thought I would make a good realtor. And then I was a stay-at-home mom, and I'm like, I watch HGTV, I can do that. Like that looks, don't I make it very simple? You show 3 houses and they buy one. And they sharpen pencils and collect butterflies and they qualify for $2 million. And I'm like, I want that client. So they made it look really simple. I'm like, I can totally do that. I'm a social butterfly. Come to find out when you go into real estate that it's a very cutthroat industry. It's a closed door policy. When you go into a top producer's office and ask them, hey, what's a PIT? I remember the first time I got post-closing occupancy on one of my listings, I was like, what's a PITI? And she's like, oh, I don't know, it never happened to me before. And I'm like, you're a top producing agent and you never had post-closing occupancy on any of your listings? So that's when I realized, hold on a minute, she's not sharing her knowledge because I will take a slice of your pie. But clearly she doesn't know my personality because I went for the whole freaking pie. So, try to say no to me, do me a favor. I'll do it twice, I'll take photos and I'll post it. So, that I'm the sorest loser you'll ever meet. Sorest loser you'll ever meet. So a little bit about me. I got licensed in 2011. I stayed with a company called Real Estate One, a real estate company in Michigan. And then in 2018, I switched to Keller because I was ready for the next step in my career, which was leveraging and growing a team and getting what they call profit share. And if it wasn't for Keller Williams, I would have never probably even understood what, or ever even looked at the idea of revenue share. So that's my evolution. I switched to EXP in 2018. I built my business on social media because I had a lot of things I did not have or didn't want to do. So when I joined real estate, when I went into every top producer's office and I interviewed them, I am that annoying 3-year-old. Hey, but why? What do you do? How do you do it? But why? But why do you do that? So literally asked every question very quickly. I realized that I am not cut out, I'm not going to door knock. I'm 5'2" and I'm blonde, okay? I am a stranger danger. I'm not going to cold call. My name is Gogo, and I barely speak English, and that's the wrong 1-800 number. And I am not going to beg people for their businesses, so there is, like for me, I always find from day one that they're lucky they get to work with me. So cold calling was not in the books. So I went through all of those things. Okay, I'm not going to farm because I can afford it. I'm not going to buy Zillow leads because it's against my religion, okay? I work way too hard for my listing to feed it to you so you can sell it back to me. Okay, that's stupid. I pay for this hair color. So, I'm naturally a brunette. But you make more money. Sorry, to all the brunettes. So, very quickly I realized the list of things I was not willing to do, but because I am the sorest loser you ever meet, I also had to be like, okay, what am I willing to do because I have to make it. I also understand the numbers in the industry. I'm a very big numbers nerd, believe it or not. So I know the numbers in the industry, and I did not want to be a part of that 80% that leaves it in the first 2 years. I wanted to be a part of that top 1% that does 90% of the business. So how am I going to do that? And that's how social media came about. I had no sphere. I don't have a single human being on this continent that's related to me by blood. So I don't have the cousin who's going to buy a house from me. I don't have the high school friend, the college friend, the kid that you grew up on the same street with. I knew no one, not one person. So where are the strangers? On social media. Okay, that's where I'm going to find them. So I started Gogo's Real Estate that originally on Facebook, and then I went on to Instagram. On Facebook, we service our local, so that's where my listings go live. That's where we talk about the local market. On Instagram, I was in the industry for about 6-7 years, and I took my pity party because I was ready to murder people. And I took the party over there thinking I can vent here. I don't know why I thought my client's not gonna follow me there. So the audience changed when I went over to Instagram. Now, a little bit fast forward, now I'm 11 years in, I'm a sucker for information. I don't like not knowing or understanding things, so I research, I read a lot. I also go to a lot of these events. I believe you are the 5 people that you surround yourself with. I also believe that you get paid for the hour what you bring to the hour. So the smarter you get, the more money you make. So that takes me to today's presentation. I love quotes for some reason. Raise your hands if you're a visual learner. A lot of us. So for whatever reason, if I see it, my brain will comprehend it. If I hear it, maybe 30% I will actually understand or pick it up. So quotes talk a lot in my mind. Let me go back one. How do I go back one? This is my favorite quote. At this time, I was working corporate America. And I read this quote. Build your dreams, or someone will hire you to build theirs. And I was making very good money at corporate America, and I was like, hold on a minute. That is not the reason I came for this country. I am building somebody else's American dream. So coming over to being a realtor and being your own boss, this is the quote that started a fire in my soul. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. So that is the thing, you know the things that you get presented and it haunts you? So I believe that God gives you ideas because you already have the skills and He knows that you can get it done. Now, do you have the, can I say it?
Yes.
BLS to actually go and do it? I don't know. So that is up to you, but when God gives you an idea, He already gave you the skills that it takes to get that done. So you have to build a dream. The only thing that's stopping you to getting your goals done, it's you. If you're in your head, you're dead. So get out of your head. So what happened to me is I was at Keller and I was one of those very happy agents. I'm happy. I was at 100%. I owned a share in the title company. I seriously had no reason to ever leave Keller. And then the week I joined Keller Williams, my sponsor, Kurt Shewell, who was the first speaker today, best sponsor ever, him and Mark Z, the #1 team in the state of Michigan, they were leaving Keller. And I was like, hold on a minute. If the largest team in the state of Michigan is going elsewhere, I probably should pay attention to that. But I was one of those agents that there is no chance in hell that I'm taking my business over to EXP. But I met with Kurt because Kurt said, I know something you don't know. I'm like, hold on a minute. There's something I don't know? Okay, that's me. He said, you know social media, teach me that. I know team building, I teach you that, so we meet for that. I'm like, okay, cool. I know he wants to pitch EXP. So I met with him, but I was prepared. I had Googled everything. I got to the end of Google, the end of YouTube, I had every single blog. I was prepared to say, no, not interested. I'm very happy where I'm at. So what happens is, Kurt was the first one, don't get me wrong, I had like 40 of them trying to tell me about the opportunity here. He was the first one who could show me the numbers in a way how it would change my life. Where everybody else in the past reached out to me because my reach, how would that change their life? So finally, when he showed me the numbers, I was like, oh my gosh, you can't unsee it, especially if you're a visual comprehender. So literally hunted me for 6 weeks, and then October 25th of 2018, I brought my business over. So if there's anything in your life that is hunting you, you have to take action. You can always go back, but you'll never get a second chance at that opportunity so early on in a company's life like where we at. We're still in diapers. If you don't find a way to make money while you're asleep, you will work until you die. So I want to raise your hands if you're a Tony Robbins fan. So I've been at every event, a couple of them a couple of times. So I did UPW, I started with that, I did that 3 times. Then I went to Business Mastery and Lead with Destiny. So at Business Mastery, I walked in there thinking, I am all that in a bag of chips. I'm an immigrant, I make very good money, like how much better could this get? And I walked out of there realizing, wow, okay. Did you know that the average multimillionaire has 6 to 7 revenues of income and they only trade their time for 1? 6 of them are passive. So if you can't figure out a way how to make horizontal money, meaning that you are asleep while you're making it, you'll never be rich. Because there's only one of you and there's only 24 hours. So if you want to multiply yourself, you have to figure out a way how to leverage other people and how to grow that to the point while it's literally going cha-ching, 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 and you haven't done anything to make it cha-ching. So this quote is the one that made me realize that I made very good money, but all my eggs were in the same basket. So if that ship sinks, it's going bye-bye. And that was the commissions basket. I was making very good money with commissions, very good living, even to the US standards. Even to the top 1% is what I meant. But it was time for me to figure out, okay, how are we going to do this so I can make horizontal money? And that's where EXP came in the picture. So now today I have over 20 different revenues of income. Every single one of them I generated with social media. And hopefully we get to the point at the end where you can ask me absolutely anything and I'm an open book. Then we can talk about social media. How do I do on time? Is there a timer somewhere?
You're good.
I'm good, okay. So this is one of my favorite quotes. You get paid for the hour what you bring to the hour. Also in the bottom it says, I know what I bring to the table, I bought the table. So the more you educate yourself, the more you're worth. The reason I can sell EXP because I know the product I sell. If you don't know the product, you can't sell it, no matter what that is. Being your real estate market and your newest listing, if you don't know the neighborhood, if you don't know the city, if you don't know the school districts and the taxes and if there's special assessments or not in the taxes and what it's for. Like, if you can't answer those questions and somebody else can, they're gonna go with that somebody else. So the reason that I know what I bring to the table is because I educate myself. I'm not saying I know every answer to every question, but I know the person who does. So that's another quote that I learned back in high school in Romania. My history teacher said that our brain capacity is limited, which means you can't possibly know everything, but what you need to know is the person who knows the answer to that question. So that's where your human connections come in. And this is where EXP is the best model for that, because what would have been the chance that one day I could be business partner with Angela? I didn't even know they existed. And now I know that they did 9 billion in production, 2 billion alone during COVID. Like, raise your hands if you can match their numbers or pass it. Yeah, none of us. There's Chuck. The other half of the equation. So what are the chances that I could have business partner with them? From Pinckney. Can you find Pinckney, Michigan on the map? Anyone? That's the first one to find it. We have a gas station and a grocery store. Very cool place. So imagine doing hundreds of transactions there. It's not easy. But now I get to learn from the best. So if I want to know how to run a large team of like 85 agents, I can go directly to my sponsor. He'll answer it to me. He's been there, done that. If I want to be ahead of and what it's like to be ahead of the largest team in the state, I can go to Mark Z. And then if I want to break into the luxury market, I go to Mark Z sponsored MBA. He's been there, done that. And then next, I can go to Curtis Johnson. Is he here? Yep, right there. So if I want to open my own privately owned brokerage, or if I'm talking to somebody who owns a privately owned brokerage, hey Kurt, I need ya, and he'll jump on a phone call with me. So you as good as your connections. You know the quote that says your net worth is your net work. Write this down, it's huge. Your net worth is your net work. It's the connections that you have. I don't know the answer to every question, but I know the person who does. So that is your job, to have those connections in the industry and be surrounded by the ones that have been somewhere where you're going. Here's the other way of putting that. Don't ever ask a broke friend how to make $1 million. They don't know. And they're gonna tell you that, oh, you can't do it that way, and rich people are not happy, and money is the, what is it? The money is the something evil. Yeah, and the money doesn't grow on trees, and you have to work really hard to make money. No, you don't. No, you don't. There's a sequence. So the more you learn, the easier it gets to make money. So you get paid for the hour, what you bring to the hour. And you should take at least 10% of every commission you make and invest it back into yourself. You have to go to events, because that's where you make personal relationships with people. That's where you truly get to know them, and you get to break bread. Like, that's your face-to-face opportunity with someone. Here's the other one. I'm looking for the people who are looking for me. That's social media right there. Ask me if I have a listing presentation. I don't. You know why? Because I don't have to have one. Because I have sold myself enough where they know they want to work with me before I stepped in a foot on the door. We don't sell real estate, guys. We sell ourselves and our services. Your job is to prove it online to people so they know they want to work with you versus working with her or him or her and him and her. So look at social media as a boulevard of realtors. And there's a storefront, and there's another storefront, and there's another storefront, and there's another storefront, and my job is to make my storefront so appetizing that they come in and they buy something. That is your job. Your job is to build the differentiation and prove it to them that they should work with you instead of working with the next realtor down on EXP Boulevard. So when you do that, you no longer have to work with the people that you don't like. I used to look at all of my clients, and everybody for me had a dollar sign above their head. 19 grand, 22,000, 14,000, I'll be your best friend for 45 days. $40,000. And I can put up with a hole, if I can say that, for a certain amount of money, okay? Now, when you do this and you do it right, you attract, which means you get people that are just like you. Because those are the only ones that are going to like you. The ones who are not like you, they're not going to like you, they're not your people, and that's okay. I always say I'm not in the business of making friends, I'm in the business of making money. But in the same time, if you do this right and you allow the people to truly get to know you through stories and posts, they're going to find you. So then you have the opportunity to work with people that you truly love, so it's not work anymore. You know the quote, that if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. I don't work. I get to do what I love, and they pay me for it, which is crazy. My mom used to say, oh child, I wish you had an off button. And today I make money with this, blah, 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 blah. So you have to, whatever skills you have, put it to good use. So facts tell, stories sell. Tell me the last time you bought something on a flyer, meaning like you saw it on Instagram, it was a beautiful flyer with a bunch of letters on it, and you were like, what a great idea, I should buy that. Nobody. Yeah, that's why they don't work. So you don't do flyers about EXP, you don't do flyers about your listing, you don't do flyers about, hey, come join my team. You take a video and you say, hey, this is what we do here, this is who I am, and this is my team, and this is where we work, and you should come join us, we can have fun together. So you don't sell the facts. Like, have you ever seen, like, I never go on Instagram and be like, you should join a team because I take a 50-50 split and we sell about 85 homes a year, and then, like, that doesn't work. You know what I mean? You have to sell the story. You have to share. Actually, how many, raise your hand if you're EXP here. So actually I should have done it the other way around, I guess. Raise your hand if you're not. So you have little, okay. So this is not an EXP pitch, sorry, but I want to use it so you can understand that. I totally forgot my train of thought. Okay, so the facts. If you are wanting to sell something to people, you cannot push it down on their throat. So if you follow me on Instagram, have you ever seen me having an EXP logo on any of my posts? No. You know why I don't do that? Because it scares people away. The people that heard something about this company on the street, they already have their mind made up. They think they know. I was one of those people. So now if you put an EXP logo all over it, it already scares them away. They're not even gonna look at your post because it's EXP. Instead, I post something of me, okay? Something that I'm doing today. And they're halfway through the post, and like, shit. Here I go, I bought it again, I read the whole thing, now I have to read the end. So you don't want to sell them, you want to show them the good life. You know the thing FOMO, the fear of missing out? So that's what you want to show. Your job is to show your life, to show your successes, to show everything that this company has done for you and keep doing for you, and how it's changing your life. And then you want to invite people to come and play with you. I always say that, hey, here is my sandbox. Do you want to come play with me? Come. And then you fill the sandbox. And that is your job, to find the people that are just like you so you don't ever have to work a day in your life. So don't do flyers, not even for your listings. Instead, you go out and you drive into the neighborhood so they can see the man with the stroller and the puppy that's walking by, and there's a little dog park, and there's butterflies flying, and then you pull up to the door and the garage door opens, and then you walk through and there's a Ferrari, and then you walk inside the kitchen and there's like, you know what I mean, like that. People want lifestyle. People want to see what they could have. So your job is to market that home, correct? And find that buyer. Do you think the flyer on your social media that says 3-bedroom, 2-bed, 2,482 square feet, built in 1999, renovated in 2011, 0.45 acres in, I don't know what school district. Sounds fabulous, I want to have it. You? Yep. No. Like, you want to show what they could have. What is it like? What is the backyard when they open the front door? Not the backyard when you open the front door, that makes a lot of sense. The backyard when you open the sliding door. So that is your job. Don't sell facts, sell stories. Sometimes you have to say no to good things in order to make time for great things. Raise your hand if you have the shiny object syndrome. I'm like, oh my gosh, what a good idea, we should do it. But that will take away from great. Do you know what the enemy of good is? Yeah, what the enemy of great is good. It's the enemy of great. So when people say, I have it so good, well, you could have it great. That is my answer. Good is the enemy of great. So in order to take yourself to the next level, you have to remove those cute little shiny objects. Could it be good? Yeah, I'm sure it's a good idea. It's not a great idea. So you have to concentrate on the great things if you're going for the big things. If not, you're going to be playing ping pong. And you also have to make sacrifices. To me, a no is a not now. I am that annoying 3-year-old. I know it's a maybe, so you're telling me there is a chance. So look at no's, even with listings. I remember I never cold called because I was like, oh my God, I just can't do it. It's like, gives me the heebie-jeebies. But I remember one of my good friends now is Rock Thomas, if anybody knows who Rock Thomas is. And he's a major listing agent in Canada, and also a Tony Robbins coach. So the way he explained it to me is this. He says, what's your average commission? Because I hate cold calling. And at the time, his average commission in Canada was $4,000. So he said, I make 100 calls, and one will list with me. So the way I looked at it, I was like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of phone calls, a lot of no's. But he said, every time I get a no, it's $40. I made $40. Because I know by the 100th call, I'm going to get a yes, which equals a $4,000 commission. So from now on, I look at every no that you get, even if it's listing or if it's agent attraction. If you know your math, if you do it long enough, eventually you're going to have your sequence. You're going to know how many calls you need to make, how many agents you need to talk to, how many sellers you need to talk to get a listing. So every no is $40. Every no is whatever your average commission is, however many agents it takes you, or how many sellers it takes you to get that commission. Every no is dollars. So you look at it totally different than in the past. I looked at it as like, I don't want people say no to me. You know how many agents I possibly talk to have 144 in my front line? Thousands. Thousands. But as Brando would say, the quality is in the quantity. I'm going for all the no's because I know about every 23rd person is going to say yes. So then do the math. So no, it's not a no. I know it's a maybe. Not now. How about tomorrow? How about tomorrow? How about the day after that? Okay, I'll call you Thursday. So just do that. No, it's not a no. High energy is high income. This one I learned from Krista Masher at the Les Cabo event. I've always been this person. Like I'm always on the go, 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 go. For me, it's always a good day. Don't get me wrong, I have sometimes bad days, but you know, I get on those little inside trampolines and I jump and I put music on loud and I'm over it. So high energy, high income. You cannot be, especially when you're doing social media. Hi, so I listed this property and it's on, the address is 123 Main Street. It's in Brighton. I think it has 3 bedrooms and it's beautiful. I think it would be a great fit for you. Call me. Do you want to buy that house? Do you want to work with me? Like you can't sell something if you're like, you just can't. So if that's not your personal need, I don't care. Put a smile on your face. Do you know how long a story is? 15 seconds. You can plank longer. It's not that bad. Taking a 15-second video. And if you are like, well, I don't like the way I look and sound. Well, guess what? Everybody that knows you knows exactly what you look and sound. And the people who don't know you, they don't count. Because their opinion, I look at other people's opinion this way. Can I deposit your opinion into my bank account? Oh, I can't. Well, then it doesn't matter, does it? Because I can't feed my kids with it. I can't send them to college. I can't pay my mortgage payment, so it does not matter. So you have to have your high energy. In order to succeed, my virtual assistant is from Brazil, but who am I to judge? Have to be passionate about it. So whatever you're selling, you have to love it. Here's my favorite. Raise your hand if people tell you, oh, I don't have time. How many times I got, oh, I don't have time. I'm so busy, I don't have time to come to hear your presentation. You don't have a time problem. You have a priority problem. You control your schedule. Chuck, do you have more time than 24 hours a day? Did God give you like, hey Chuck, here's 10 more hours so you can be really successful? What?
I said, I can't give you my secret.
Yeah, there you go. I'm assuming, let's take a wild guess, I'm assuming that he only has 24 hours. He somehow magically got it done, did he? So did Angelo. I don't want to take credit, they did it together. So what that means is nobody has more than 24 hours in a day. So you don't have a time problem. It's not that you suddenly run out of time. It's just that you prioritize wrong. You put the wrong things in the wrong order. So from now on, if someone says that they have a time problem, they don't have a time problem. They have a priority problem. What gets celebrated gets duplicated. So now in Team Gogo, we have over 500 some odd agents. We celebrate everything. We celebrate every single agent that joins us and make a big deal out of it. Why do you think we do that besides the fact that everybody likes to be recognized? Because people are monkey does, monkey do, correct? Oh, if Jessica sold her house with you, then maybe I should sell my house with you too. Oh, if Jessica brought her business over to UXP and partnered with Google, then maybe I should look at the opportunity too. So you do it because you want to take their sphere, the people that like them, correct? They might not like you, and that's okay. But the people who like them, they like them and trust them, so they're going to do whatever that person does because it's monkey does, monkey do. And the FOMO, fear of missing out. So if Jessica's having this good life over here, then I'm gonna probably join so I can have a good life over there too. So now inside, after you are going to introduce all of the agents and brag about it, you're going to post it everywhere. So in social media, you have to get really good at this thing called shameless self-promotion. Say that out loud 3 times. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Shameless self-promotion. One more time. Shameless self-promotion. One more time. Shameless self-promotion. So tell me this. Would I have a clue of your accolades? Would I know how good you are unless you told me? No. Do your clients know that you just sold 100 homes this year? Do they know that you got, I don't know, an icon award? What is an icon award? So if you don't brag about your own accolades, they have no way of knowing how good you are. Don't be a secret agent, because the next agent who has a tenth of your production, or maybe never sold a freaking house, but really good on social media, are going to take your next listing. Because guess what? People on average spend anywhere from 4 to 6 hours a day on all sorts of social media platforms. Or during COVID, the average was 8 to 9 hours. Because there was nothing for us to do besides getting to the end of Netflix and getting to the end of Instagram. So your job is to be a choice for them. You might not be the realtor, but at least I'm in the running. So that is your job. So inside of our group, we celebrate each other. So we pretty much duplicate myself. Everybody celebrates their own accolades. And then we all jump on there, and then we clap, and we cheer, and we share, and we spread the word. Inside our group, we celebrate birthdays. We celebrate achievements. So someone caps, big deal. Someone icons, very big deal. When they are bringing their agent on, very big deal. If they're coming to an event with us, it's a big deal. So we celebrate, so everybody gets, what's the word I'm looking for? Acknowledged. Because when we were in the old style brokerage, correct, you went in the door and there's Jessica and there's Adam and there's da-da-da-da-da, and you're elbow bumping, hey, how are you? You get to see each other, and then we do potluck, and you bring a dish and I bring a dish, and then we spend an hour at lunch together, and we act like we like each other. Now we don't have that. I have agents in 30 different states and 5 different countries. 90% of them I've never met, and maybe I never will. So if you allow them to be out on their own island, they're never going to understand what this company offers. They're never going to feel the community, and then we are no different than any other brokerage. They're going to leave. So your job is to make sure that they love it here. So you have to celebrate on your people. When you allow them to get to know you, they will love you. When they love you, they trust you. When they trust you, they will do anything you say. Ask me how many agents I reached out to from the 144 that joined me. The rest of them all called me. Hey, tell me more about this. I keep saying it, I don't want to come on one of your calls because I don't want anybody to see my face or whatever the reason is, but tell me more about this opportunity. So your job is to put it out there. Raise your hand if this company changed your life. then it's your job and duty to change others. Now, I cannot change your life. I saw someone's hand over there up that they're not with us. I cannot change your life. You're the only one who can change your life. But it is my duty, because this company changed mine, to spread the word. What you do with that information, that is your problem. So as my dad used to say, and I don't know how far I can go, and I'm just going to beep out that word. But my dad, every time I asked my dad, like, hey, can I go to this party? Can I go hang with these kids? My dad always said, oh honey, it's your own life. You can beep it up however you want to. And that made me think. I had a tough love, huh? But that made me really think of like, hold on a minute. Like really, they're not the bestest kids, and I know exactly what we're gonna do, so probably I shouldn't go because I can beep up my own life. But it goes both ways though. Sometimes not making a decision is worse than making one. Sometimes you might be faced with the opportunity of your lifetime and you're just like, I don't know about that. I'm gonna watch 10 more years and see what happens, see if they fail. Well, fail. And if it sucks, if it's the worst decision you have ever made, well, then go back. I'm sure they would love to have you with open arms. They will take your production and the tens of thousands of dollars that you've given them in the past. So when it comes to social media, your job is to allow people to get to know you. I don't sell real estate. Have you ever seen me ask for anyone's business? Have you ever seen me ask for anyone join me? I don't do that. Instead, I allow people to get to know me. I pop out my front tooth. And then I find all the realtors that have implants, and they are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're so real, I'm going to join business with you. Or I show my bulldog, and now I get all of the people that are bulldog lovers. We have that in common. Or then sometimes I show my child who has type 1 diabetes, and then I get all of the moms and all of the realtors that are type 1 diabetic, or they have a child with type 1 diabetes. Or sometimes I speak Hungarian or Romanian and talk about being an immigrant, and then I get all of the pool of people who are from another country and an immigrant, and they go for the American dream. So when you allow people, those people get to know you. When they know you, they love you. When they love you, they trust you. And when they trust you, they'll buy anything you sell. So that is your job with social media, is allow people to find you. Here's one of my favorites from the Gogo event. Begin with the end in mind. Revenue share is the cure to your dream life. Here's another thing. If you can't imagine it, you can't have it. You're not ready. So I force myself all the time to be like, do I see myself walking up with my cute little Louis on a yacht or a jet? No, I don't.
Not ready.
Not ready? Well, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to sit and meditate, and I'm going to teach my brain that that's where we are going. Your brain is designed to protect you. If I come right here, my brain is going to say, oh, no, you're going to fall, you're going to hurt yourself, don't do it. Don't do it. It's a 1,000,000-year-old brain. Its only job is to protect you. Your job, on the other hand, is to tell your brain what we're going to do today. My brain's not going to tell me what we're going to do today. I'm going to tell my brain where we're going to go today. So if you can't see that future for yourself, well, then force yourself. Sit down, close your eyes, imagine yourself in your beachfront properties. And I can hear the ocean and the breeze, and I can literally hear the palm tree. And then I can do a 180, and I see my beautiful house, and I see my friends. And I see my dog running around, and I can see the waterfall like jumping out of the pool, and I can hear the music, and I can smell the amazing fresh food that a chef is cooking. That's what you need to do. We all have a built-in GPS that takes you from A to B. Well, in order to do that, how does the GPS work? You get in a car, GPS says, I'm here, and then you tell GPS, correct? Or does GPS assume that you are going to 123 Main Street? No. GPS waits for you to plug it in. Where are we going today? So you're going to plug in 123 Main Street. Well, GPS is going to take you there. If you don't know where you're going, can it possibly take you there? No. You are on a treadmill. You're running. You're definitely running. You're going nowhere. So you have to tell your brain every single day, what am I getting done today? Where are we going? Plug it into your GPS. And the universe or God or Mother Nature or higher power, whatever you believe in, It's going to show you the way. You know how GPS says, well, if you go this way, it's 30 minutes. If you go this way, it's 18 minutes. Well, if you go this way, it's 24 minutes. You choose. Well, God also gave you a choice. God's not going to say, take this route because it's the fastest. God's going to give you a choice. And you get to choose which way you're going today. But at least you have to know your end destination. What does the Bible say? You shall ask and you shall receive. Well, you have to ask what you want. As Tony Robbins says, most people say, well, I just want to make more money. Well, guess what? $1 is money. You're going to make $1. So you have to be specific. Not only you have to be specific of what you want, but you have to put a time frame on it. So I can't say I want to be a millionaire. Okay, well, I could be 94 years old, one leg in the coffin, and now I'm a millionaire. Now what am I going to do with the money? You can't take it with you. So you have to say, where are we going and by when? So my goals are always tied to a time, by which time I'm going to get this done. So make sure you do that. If you can't imagine it, you can't have it, so force your brain. Thank you. So I don't know how much time we have, but if you guys are okay with that, I am okay with asking absolutely anything. Ideally, probably social media. So I think Angela has the microphone.